Hey guys, it's Rendon with TJ Free, and today is Pi Day, March 14th. And so in celebration of Pi Day, I thought I'd line up some of my Raspberry Pi projects that I've built over the years and quickly just show you what they're all about. The Raspberry Pi is this little microcontroller computer. It's the size of a credit card, costs about $35. It's been going strong for about the past decade now, and I built some really cool stuff with them that I just wanted to show you.
One of the easiest ways to start using your Raspberry Pi is just as a desktop computer. So it has an HDMI out, an audio out, it has a network card and USB ports. The hard drive is just a micro SD card that you download the operating system to and flash it using special software. And you can run, most often people run a Linux operating system with a desktop graphical user interface. Here I have it plugged into my monitor, and this is with a Raspberry Pi 3. And it performs really well, so it does everything that you would expect a desktop to. You can browse files, you can run different applications, even things like Inkscape I'm running here. You can do video editing. This is a version of Minecraft specifically for the Pi that works really well, although it is kind of a limited, not the full version of Minecraft. But it has very responsive games. You can watch movies, you can browse the internet. It's actually very functional as a desktop computer. These cases are pretty cool. They're from Zebra Case, and I kind of like them. They're a little bit more pricey, but they really make the Raspberry Pis look awesome. You can get all kinds of different cases because the board just comes just the computer board by itself. So this is the Raspberry Pi, the original, one of the first ones I ever purchased. And I'm using this one right now as a server. They're not as powerful as the modern Pi 3s and 4s. But it does have video output, it has some memory, it uses the larger SD cards to store its operating system. And this particular one I have plugged into an external hard drive, and I'm using it as a server in my house, so it's just sort of like a network attached server storage. And so you can install anything on this. People sometimes do Nextcloud, or you can just run like a basic Samba or FTP server to serve files between computers. So it's a nice lightweight, low power consumption network attached storage. This is also an original Raspberry Pi in a more robust case, and these are set up with the HSMM Pi software. So it's a ham mesh where it uses an antenna to create a mesh network between different nodes. So each of these is a node. It has a battery pack and this antenna hooked to it, and then it communicates between the antenna. So it can turn a device that doesn't have wireless capability into a wireless device. But more importantly, you can have two or more. You can have 20 devices talking to each other, communicating over the 2.4 gigahertz network. So in this case, it's sending a wireless signal over to my desktop computer, and it travels down the device and it just plugs into the Ethernet port. And so my desktop computer usually doesn't have wireless, but in this case it would. And you can run your own private intranet. And if you're a licensed ham radio operator, like I am, you can actually have extra frequencies that are not available to everyone else, which is kind of cool. And something else you can do is you can run this pirate radio. So in here I have a little antenna. This is using PyTX. And so this PyTX software lets you actually transmit radio, not just 2.4 gigahertz, but you can transmit like on the FM bands, for example, and actually pick up that radio signal using just a regular off-the-shelf radio. This next project is the only one in the lineup that uses the Raspberry Pi 4, and it's also taking advantage of this Coral USB accelerator for extra processing. What this does is running TensorFlow Lite to do object detection in real time. So this is processing 20 frames per second right now, and it's detecting objects using this camera. So this is a 1080p USB camera. You can also use different cameras, and I'll show you an option here in a minute. But this is really cool to detect in real time, and you can train it to do your own type of object detection. So there's some really neat applications with this, and it's definitely an emerging technology using machine learning and I guess artificial intelligence. This is that camera that a lot of people use for the Raspberry Pi. It has a slot in the Raspberry Pi it can fit into directly without having to use USB. This next project uses the Raspberry Pi 3, and it has a touchscreen and a case that's specifically designed for the Raspberry Pi. So you can create sort of a touchscreen tablet. This is running the software Kodi, which is a media software like a home media computer, although this one's mobile if you connect it to a battery pack. And you can use this to look at pictures, to watch movies, and play back any kind of media. So it's just like a whole media center. You can even play games on this, and there's all kinds of plugins for doing additional things. You can stream live TV to this, or satellite TV. So it's really, really cool, and you can organize and see the metadata and have good control over all of your different media. And since the Raspberry Pi has built-in Bluetooth, you can connect Bluetooth devices like speakers or headphones for streaming that audio, or you can use an output over the HDMI cable or over the audio jack. This is an older version that I was doing using the original Pi, and it's also running, this is OSMC, but you can run Kodi on it as well, and just plug it into a TV to convert any old TV into a smart TV. This project is the Pirate Box, and so you have a box. This one's not completed yet, but you put everything in here and you connect an antenna to the outside, and then it broadcasts this wireless signal that anyone can pick up. It's an open Wi-Fi network that people can share files and they can chat, they can communicate on your own open but private network. So it's not dependent on a router. And this one, I don't believe this. There might be some capabilities for mesh network as well. I haven't used this one a whole lot. This is a battery pack, so I built this. I bought the case, but then I salvaged batteries out of old laptop batteries, these 18650 lithium-ion batteries. And so this lasts quite a long time. Just all it's doing is running the Pi and broadcasting that signal. Another fun radio project is this ADS-B receiver. So this receives signals that are sent out from airplanes and different type of aircraft flying around. You can use this in a plane if you're a pilot, or you can just use it to gather information about what's happening in the sky above you. Really cool project, and it's independent of the internet, although you can connect it to the internet for more information as well. But it's just really cool, like that. You can ask Google or Siri, what plane is flying above me. Well, using this, you could detect it yourself. It has built-in GPS, so it'll also tell you where you are. So there's potential for doing triangulation and finding out where those plane signals are coming from and where they're heading as well. And there's all kinds of good information that those planes transmit too. They transmit how fast they're going, how high they are. That's all just public information, I guess you could say, just in the airwaves that you're able to detect if you have the right type of antenna and the right type of receivers. This also uses a battery on the back, so you can run this mobily, and then you can attach to it with your smartphone or tablet or laptop is how you interface with this. So the Raspberry Pi is about the size of a credit card, but the Raspberry Pi Zero is an even smaller version of the Raspberry Pi. Here's a project that I built and just recently featured on this channel. It's a Trezor hardware wallet, and it uses the Raspberry Pi Zero. So in this case, you plug it into your computer and you can transmit or you can authorize transactions for Bitcoin or Ethereum or different cryptocurrencies without revealing your private key. So this is a really cool, nifty little thing that you can build. And building it this way, I think ends up being cheaper than buying the Trezor hardware wallet, which is cool. But again, like many of the projects we're looking at, the source code is released. Stratix did it in the last project we looked at, and Trezor did it as well. They sell a commercial product, but they also release their source code if you want to build one yourself, which is a really awesome way to go. Who doesn't love the original Nintendo Entertainment System? So this is a miniature version. It's a case for the Raspberry Pi. I have a Raspberry Pi 3 in here right now. It has a functional power button and reset button, and the whole thing is just powered off of a micro USB port. You could also power it using batteries. It has USB ports on the front. The SD card, you can put different sizes in. I have a 400 gigabyte size, so you can store games and movies or all kinds of information on here. And this is running RetroPie, which is an emulator or a collection of emulators. So you can plug in the HDMI to your TV or use this mobily. But this will actually run games like SNES and NES, arcade games, DOS games, Atari games, even N64 and PlayStation. You can use a keyboard or mouse, or you can use a different controller. So you can even use the original NES controller by just getting an adapter. This adapter here adapts it to a USB port, and then you can plug it in and use it with the Raspberry Pi, or you could use it on your computer. They make adapters for the Atari controllers, for the Xbox 360 controllers, for the Super Nintendo controllers, all kinds of cool things. So you can find an adapter and use an original. They also remake, they have generic controllers that look like the SNES controller that has a USB interface as well if you don't have an original one. They are getting a little bit more hard to find. This last project uses the original Raspberry Pi, and this is a Christmas light controller, so it uses the GPIO pins to send the signal out to relay boards, and those relay boards are connected to power outlets that you can control on and off. And then the Raspberry Pi also plays a WAV file with music, and you can sync that music to which outlets are on or off, and you can actually flash them quite quickly too. So you've seen people decorate their houses with Christmas lights, and they play music or they broadcast the music. In fact, you could probably mix that Pi TX project with this one, and you could broadcast that on an FM station, although you're probably not allowed to because it's against the FCC, but you could broadcast on a radio, tune in, listen to that as people drive by. They could watch your Christmas lights play.
Well, as you can see, I have quite a few Raspberry Pis, which is why I've decided to give away a Raspberry Pi 3 to one of you lucky viewers. All you have to do to win this is subscribe to my channel, TJ Free, and leave a comment or question or anything below on this video, and I'm going to choose at the end of the month from everyone who's commented. I'll just get a list of those usernames and randomly pick a name, and if you're a subscriber to the channel, I will send you this Raspberry Pi 3 anywhere in the world. So all you have to do to win this is, if you're watching in March of 2020, you're eligible, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and you could win this. And with the Raspberry Pi 3, you can build any of the projects that we've looked at in this video. It's a great little computer. You can also buy one of these. They're $35, and I'll include a link in the description of the video, an Amazon affiliate link. Using that link also helps support my channel. So if you appreciate what I do, or if you found this video informative, consider using one of those links to purchase the Pi or anything on Amazon. I would greatly appreciate it. But as always, thanks so much for watching. Leave your questions in the comments below, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.